some sugar, don't play shy. You got me coming back like the 4th of July. 'Cause you're so sweet, you're so sweet. I'm smelling mama's kitchen. I want you to come to my sweet potato.
Hi everyone, it's Nisha. So today I am going to show you my eyebrow routine. As you can see, I have eyebrows, but they are very thin. They are quite dark because my natural hair, as you can see by the roots, is quite dark. But I obviously overplucked them long time ago. I have big bit missing here because I've had stitches here when I was a child, so I don't have much hair growing here. But yeah, they are very thin, and I think thin eyebrows can be quite aging, especially these days. Big eyebrows are the thing. So I want my eyebrows to be more defined because they frame your eyes. It's very important when you have hooded eyes to have good brows as well, because they lift your eye up, and you will see that when I've just done one eyebrow. But you know, I want them a bit thicker, but I don't want them to be, you know, like the Instagram eyebrows that are like really painted on. So it's very difficult. What I will show you is you can do with anything. You can do it with a pencil, you can do it with a brush and a eyebrow pomade, you know, like the Anastasia one. You can do it with brow powders. Really depends what you like using. I change up my products, but it's the technique that I use. Okay, so first of all, obviously you should have your eyebrows waxed or plucked. I must admit I haven't waxed my eyebrows, but you know, they don't go too crazy because obviously they are not very thick. So let me just pin my hair a bit with these cute bows. I think I bought them in Accessorize, in Claire's. Okay, first of all, you need to also trim your eyebrows. So let me show you first of all what I will be using. I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow scissors, but obviously you don't use it every day. I'll show you in a minute. And then I always use 2 colors of pencil, or 2 colors of pomade, or 2 colors of powder, whatever you are using, lighter and darker, because I want the tail of my brow to be darker, but the front not so much. I don't want them to look, you know, too solid. So I use that, and what I use right now is the Dior brow styler, and this is in 001 Universal Brown. I really love it. To be honest, my favorite ones are the really thin pencils. So that's my darker one, and then my lighter is the NYX micro brow pencil in Taupe. And this one's got a really fine point. To me, this one is, in my opinion, a dupe for the Anastasia Brow Wiz. Okay, so first of all, if I haven't done it for a long time, I need to trim my brows. So what you do, okay, so your brows grow in 2 different directions. The front, you brush up, and from about middle, you brush down. Okay, so let's do the front first. So you brush the front up. That's how I do it, by the way. You don't have to do it that way, but that's how I do it. And if they're pretty even, then that's fine. But if you see some sticking out, just snip them into straight line. Okay, now I'm gonna brush from the arch down. And if you have any long pieces here, I snip them as well. Gosh, I hope this is not going out of focus. So you need to trim your brows, and they look much better straight away. So let's do this one for now. This one doesn't look like it needs much trimming. I might just do a tiny bit. And then I'm going to brush down, and here I can see I've got a really long one. You sort of trim it in a straight line. So that's your eyebrows trimmed. Now let's start with the painting of the brow. Okay, I don't know if you can see, but my brows don't go from here straight. So it's also almost like a tadpole. So if I drew straight line, I would have to draw it there. So it's like longer here and then goes up. I want to straighten it up a bit. So first of all, I'm going to define the bottom of my brow, which is a bit thin as well. So I just brush my brows this way. Then from when that tadpole finishes, that thicker bit, I'm going to draw straight line, follow the bottom of my brow, but make it I'll go a bit lower, if you know what I mean. Okay, so I've got that line, but now I'm going to brush them up, and you can see the gap. I've got a gap because I've drawn this line a bit lower. So I'm just going to paint over that gap. They might not look as good as when I'm not doing them on the camera because I'm not so comfortable here. And then brush them back down and look if I need to make it darker anywhere else. Okay, and most people just do the bottom brow. I think, especially when you've got overplucked brows, because that is still looking really thin, you should do the top. And I have little hairs there, but they've gone a bit lighter, some have gone grey, unfortunately. But that's the only way you can thicken your eyebrow, because you can't go much lower here, it will look ridiculous. So then from about here, okay, not where my arch is, from about here, I'm going to draw like a parallel line on the top, very lightly though, you don't want to draw it really hard. And I'm doing this with my darker pencil. Do my arch. Okay, so can you see that? And now, because the hairs grow in that sort of direction, I am going to draw like little hairs. And all the time you're doing it, keep brushing. So that is the tail of my eyebrow done. Now I'm going to do the front. And to do the front, I'm going to use the Taupe, so it's a bit lighter. And first I'm going to do it at the bottom, and I just go back and forth lightly to do this line. Then in this area, when the hair grows up, I flick my pencil up like that. Keep brushing in between all the time so you can see. And then where I did this line, I go very, very lightly with this lighter pencil as well. And that's my brow done. And now I'm going to set it with a gel. I like to use colored gel because I feel like the clear ones almost take off the color that you've just put on. So my favorite is the Benefit Gimme Brow in the lighter one. They only do two, don't they? Yeah, light medium. Oh, I really like the L'Oreal lip plumper, Brow Artist Plumper in light medium as well. Although, do you know what? I bought this a while ago, and now when I look in shops, they don't look like this. They come in a black tube, so I don't know if it's the same thing. I think it's the same thing. So let me do this one because my Benefits ran out. And now I brush a bit up here and then follow my hair growth very lightly. I'm not going at it so I take off the color. But what that does is sort of separates your eyebrow hairs and makes it look a bit more natural. They don't look like one solid painted on color. and just leave them because they will dry like that. And that's how I do my brows. So look at the difference. My eye looks much more lifted. I think it's more useful, the little thin over plucked eyebrow. So let me just do the other one off camera, so this is not too long. Okay, so here are my both brows done. That's how I likely do it. I'm not saying this is right and that's how you should be doing it, but that's how I do my over plucked thin brows. I think it really frames your eye, and especially if you have hooded eyes. I'm sure you saw it when I just had one eyebrow done, how that eye looked much more lifted. So I hope this was helpful for you. Thank you very much for watching, and I see you soon. Bye.